Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Real Women Atlanta Live. This is going to be another amazing show. We've got some fabulous women on today. We've got our guest, Miss Wanda D. Hollis in the house. Miss Wanda D., the motivational
Queen! You did it.
Oh my God. As always, I got my sidekick. I got my co-host, Ms. Gary Deidre. As always, say hello to the people.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the neighborhood. Why? Because it's a great day, honey, in the neighborhood. We are excited about the show on today with all of these phenomenal women. Just wait, call in, make sure that you're not only listening, but that you call in, you comment, ask any questions that you may have, because let me tell you, you guys are going to get an amazing show today.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to kick the show off with none other than my girlfriend, my friend. She's been a supporter of the show, the magazine, all the events that we have done in the past. None other than Miss Wanda D. Hollis. Miss Wanda, welcome.
So glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having us. Yes.
So, Miss Wanda, for the past, I think 3 weeks now, maybe 4, because I think we started off with, was it Felicia? We started off with Miss Felicia Gardner, and you've got this incredible project that you've put together. You've got a book that you have co-host or co-authored with 20 other people. Wow. I know that was a job just to even put something like that together. Go ahead. And it's called Wake Up Winning, Volume 2.
All fingers up, ladies. Screenshot.
2.
Yeah, see, we'll go back and we'll screenshot that.
Okay.
That was valuable.
Okay. So go ahead and tell our viewers about the book, and then we're going to introduce the other co-authors that you have on the show.
Okay, well, first let me say thank you so much, for Real Women Atlanta presence, the live, the magazine, everything that you do. And I can't, before I jump into that, I just want to give you two ladies your kudos because, I met you, a couple years ago, maybe 2-3 years ago at the first event that I went to. And I was blown away. I was impressed by your level of integrity, the information that you brought forth. I learned some things. We were celebrating, we were honoring women. And for me, I looked at you all as somebody that I wanted to lock arms with. And that's why we're here today, is because I made that decision. And then we were at the state capitol doing some things, and I came in there and did my thing. And so that just leads me to wake up winning no matter what, because losing is not an option. This is why we do what we do every day. Every day we set intentions to win. This book is the volume 2 because there was a volume 1 and volume 1 came about in 2000. We started it in 2018, and then a lot of things happened, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna mess around, because as you said, 20 people, that's a lot. 21 is what we did in volume 1, and I always come up with numbers, and then I figured divine order, divine spirit is going to work them out. But behind Wake Up Winning, no matter what, is some phenomenal people. Now, I take no credit for this. I absolutely don't. And the reason being, because if it was not for divine grace, my ancestors, the power of God, the power of the Creator, I would not be even able to do what I'm doing. So I don't take lightly for that. And you see that young lady down there, like, right? Let me see, where can I point? Where my finger go? Over there. She's over on that side, right down there, Tiasha Janae. She's a critical part of this, what we're doing this time, and she was last time too, because it's the people, and her heart is big, and she came on to this project. She does major work in this lane of helping, because like you said, it's a lot of moving parts. So if it was not for her, we would not even be here, because she kind of like pushed me into doing this again.
Wow.
This time we needed this the most. See, before, I needed it for me to keep living. And I'll say that again. I needed the first project for myself. It was a very selfish act, because I needed to keep living.
Wow. Wow.
This time, I need to really, really help other people keep living. We need to help other people keep living, like what Miss Frida does, what Tanisha does, is a part of helping others fight for their win, helping others see a light in a dark place, helping others get over the hump. So Wake Up Winning, no matter what, is what it is. Wake Up Winning, no matter what, no matter if you've gone through the fire, no matter if you're in the fire, you still got to wake up winning. The fight to get here is so difficult. Even being born, try being born as a Black baby. They're trying to kill you from the gate.
Yes.
Okay, so if you make it to the planet, then your responsibility then falls on you of how you want to act. And all of the things that we go through is the reason why we stand tall, not the reason why we have to sink down, but the reason why we have to stand tall and to keep going. So that's why we're here. Wake Up Winning, Volume 2 is a masterpiece. Is a masterpiece. When I say a masterpiece, I mean a masterpiece. I am overwhelmed at this point, because I did something different that I didn't do in the first time, and I let people just answer their stuff on their own, and it was like it's really now requires me opening up to a lot of energy, because you're reading it, and this, it's in the 4th edit, and so I read it every time it goes out, it comes back, and I have to read it again.
Wow.
And I'm like, nope, not still. It goes out, comes back. So I have really, really come to know these 20 people, including myself. I even found out more about myself that I reveal in the book that I never revealed before.
Wow.
So I found out more about myself, and I'm learning more about who makes Wanda D. Hollis at my core.
Wow.
So
that's good. That's really good. I was thinking about questions that I would ask you. I'm sending over these questions for you so that we could do the cover piece, the feature story on you. And that was one of my very first questions. What makes Wanda D. Hollis Wanda D. Hollis? That was one of my very first questions. So it's interesting that you would say that. So today we've got some of the co-authors on. We've got Miss Tanisha Ramsey Lane. Miss Tanisha, why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about who you are and what they can expect to find out about you in your piece in the book?
Hi everyone. It's such a pleasure to be on the show today with you guys, with this beautiful queen as well. I am a person. I am a evangelist. I am a speaker. My background comes from ministry. First, I was a hairstylist for 24 years. My first passion. Then I turned into being in ministry. So my ministry was music at first. Then it went to teaching Sunday school, the youth. I have a connection with the youth and the young adults because my story is my testimony. I know what it feels to be a rape victim. I know what it feels like to, deal with seizures because of the rape that I've been through. I know what it feels like to be homeless, to have nothing, to come back to something and to greatness. I know what it feels like to be in a domestic violence relationship. I know what to overcome of a breast cancer person look like. That's me. So I've been through so many things in my life. I don't experience death 6 times. So the last time made me wake up, be like, okay, is you gonna get yourself together, or you gonna sit here and just marinate in your sorriness and and just continue to be bitter? In this season, we cannot afford to be bitter. We cannot stay broken, and we cannot stay with the trauma in our head that, oh, I can't do this. I don't know how to go forward. No, you have to speak life into yourself. And when you speak life into yourself, you can do anything in the world because it's possible. As long as you got God on your side and you speak life into yourself first and you forgive yourself, then you're able to forgive others. So when you're able to forgive others, it doesn't even matter about anything else that happens in life itself. You know to push forward. So that's why I came up with the slogan, I'm going to press, push, and I'm going to pray. So why I say that, that's my slogan for Millennials Ministry, because that opened another door for 2020 for me. I got on radio. Didn't think I can do it, but hey, I kept talking life into myself. And once again, I had an awesome other sister on him. I love these sisters right here. Wanda, I look up to Wanda. The first day I met Wanda at the Urban CEO Atlanta conference, she spoke to me and she just said something that just opened my eyes. She didn't even know at that time I was dealing with suicidal thoughts, but I overcame them. But that day I was like, okay, I'm going to get up. I'm going to share my testimony. That day, from that day forward, I changed my whole life of being an entrepreneur. I was an entrepreneur, in the hair game, but I wasn't an entrepreneur being a speaker. I was an entrepreneur in ministry. Now I can truly say, and since that year, now I have done things that people took 10, 15 years and what I'm doing now. And it's amazing because I believe in myself. So when you believe in yourself, anything is impossible. You don't supposed to stay in a bitter place or feel like okay, let's talk about the spirit rejection. A lot of us deal with spirit rejection because we don't understand that it's something that happened in our childhood or maybe in our mid-age, our adult life. Now that we're grown, we tend to get stagnant in that season right now. We don't know how to push forward because we worry about the naysayers. No, we don't worry about the naysayers in this season. We worry about the do-sayers. And when the do-sayers, you can do anything that's possible. The Lord has given to me, which that's God up above. We can push through any hurdle, anything. So being a part of this book and knowing that was Wanda collaboration. Y'all should ask me. I say, oh, I'm on board. Okay. I don't know how we gonna make things work because I was in a little situation like I ain't know where my finances gonna come at because it's a little steady. But let me tell you, I trust God and I believe in Him, and I had sisters who keep backing me up and keep pushing me, and we work together. So don't never say what you cannot do. Worry about the things you can do. So when you can do things within yourself and you know you got God on your side, anything is impossible. Anything is impossible. So we cannot worry about what people say because we need the people to talk. They're going to be messy and petty baddies. We understand that in this season. But we need them because those are the ones going to promote us to get to the next level. So this is why I'm part of one of the hottest books. This is why I'm part of Wake Up When, because losing is not an option for me.
Jesus.
Girl,
let me tell you something. I'm trying to compose myself, but I feel like getting up and running around this room.
Well, let me tell you, I was just about to say the same thing, but I got pajama pants on. So, I got to sit right here.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Listen.
You better start this show off right, man.
Wow.
I love y'all. It's a privilege.
Wow. Amazing. And see, this is This is why we do what we do. Because, God wanted us to develop a platform for ordinary women to have a voice. There's some sisters out there that have gone through maybe one of what you just named. Maybe it was domestic violence, and they're so broken they don't know how to pick up the pieces. But when they hear that you've been raped, you've gone through domestic violence, you've died how many times? Almost 6 times. When they hear your story, it should give them some hope to know that if Tanisha did it, I could do it too. Yeah. Oh my God. And then I heard when you mentioned the spirit of rejection, I think all of us at some point have dealt with that. And God gave me revelation concerning it because it could happen even while you're still in your mother's womb.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
Things that are spoken over you while you're still in the womb. Your mother could reject you.
Yep.
Your father could have rejected you.
There you go.
And I'm telling you, and when he gave me revelation, I had to go back. I'm being transparent. I had to go back and I had to repent because when my daughter was pregnant, I rejected my granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to go back and repent for it because I said the devil will not have a hold on her life because of me rejecting her while she was in.
Yes, Lord.
So all of us have dealt with it in some form at some time. But that is, oh my God. Love it, love it, love it. Miss Taisha. Did I get it right?
It's all right. It's Tiasha.
Come on, correct me, sis.
Yes, ma'am.
Tiasha.
Tiasha.
I told myself writing it down after Wanda said your name. So I put T-E dash A-S-H-A. So, all right. So now, how did you get in the midst of this collaboration?
Oh, wow. This is a good story. And Wanda, she really tells it better than me. But from volume 1, our very, very first collaboration, I don't know how I was connected to Wanda. I believe, me being connected to one person connected me to her. But somehow on Facebook, around the time that I was talking to God about, writing my own personal book and battling with him and fussing with him about why I'm not going to do it. And he told me why I was going to do it and how he was going to send me provision for his vision. And so Wanda was that provision. She posted that she was doing the Wake Up Winning Volume 1 book. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just join that book. Maybe God will be pleased if I just join that book, And so when I contacted Wanda, she had about maybe 2 spots left, I believe. I think it was 2. Yeah. So I was like, I want to be a part. And she was like, well, it's the $100 down. So I was like, okay, let me get this money. So my dad, God bless the dead, he gave me the $100. But it was cash. He wasn't giving me the credit card number so I could go swipe it and say, here, Wanda. He gave me a $100 bill. So I sent Wanda a picture of my $100 bill. She said, lady, I'm glad you got your $100, but that ain't how this works. And so from that day, I figured out how to get her that money so that I could pay to be a part of that project. And being a part of that project, I didn't know why she was doing it at first, but then later learning why she did it and why God sent her my way, I understood that, being a part of it was a divine connection. And the reason being is because what she was going through with that first book, I was going through with the second book. I just lost my dad.
I almost lost my life in June of this year. My dad, June of last, well, I say this year, but we in a new year now. But June of last year, I almost died. 4 days of hemorrhaging, and then to know, just that was a year from my dad's passing, and I was holding on by a thread, and I'm still going through, because you never just completely get over loss, but just knowing that every day, waking up winning, the meaning behind it for me is that we are to continue to wake up winning no matter what, because losing is not an option. We have to, um, every day that we open our eyes, we just should be grateful that, hey, we're winning because we're awake. We're winning because we have our limbs and our feet to just move around and do. And so when we decide not to do, then that falls on us, but not God. And so I'm thankful for Wanda just pushing me, because when I felt like giving up, the last project or even on this project, she was like, oh no, what you not going to do? And so I appreciate that motivation. I appreciate her going through that process first and being that vessel that can show me how to go through the same process. That right there was just, amazing to me. And then of course, like I said, that title, it speaks to me because she talks about waking up, and I always talk about, like, my favorite quote is, the sun don't care who it blinds when it shines, so you have to let your light shine. And when that light shine is the sunlight that I'm referring to, that light that's on the inside of us, that God has placed on us to bring forth and push out onto his people, to bring people closer to him. And so that sun is not the sun but the son. And so all of those things, resonate with me. And then now going into volume 2, we're talking about knowing what we want and how to get it. There are things that we've wanted in our season. And when 2020 hit, it was like, oh yeah, let's hit the ground running. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But then COVID hit, and it stopped a lot of people in their tracks from moving forward. But we continued to move forward. And Tanisha Ramsey Lane could contest, we've been through some of the same testimonies. We too met at the Urban CEO event. And when we met there, we found out that, hey, we might be related. So we're looking at, just meeting new people, and you not knowing who you're going to touch or who you're going to connect to. And now we are in media together, with the radio station, with magazines. Wanda gave me my first start on, on a platform where I'm able to talk about women in business. And for her to do that, from that first book to now, just seeing the elevation, I couldn't just leave volume 2. I said, Wanda, we got to do a volume 2. Now, I didn't expect her to say, you're going to be doing a chapter, but I was like, whatever you need me to do, I'll help you. But I was thinking, get some more people on that project, and which we did. And it was amazing, just to get them out there to tell their testimony, especially right now in the season that we're in. So I'm excited.
Awesome. You said something when you said that you're still going through. That word "through" is very important. And I think a lot of times when we're dealing with situations, we feel like we're in the midst of it, but we're not going through.
That's profound.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That God will bring you to it. He'll bring you through it. And then once you get to the other side, there's always a 2 point, a through point, and a coming out point. And so, but even when you're coming out, you may be going through a next thing, but it's all for a reason. It's all to help us level up and get to that next season in our life. But, it's just like when we work out, you have to stretch those muscles. You have to pull that rubber band and pop it back in place. So it's all about catapulting ourselves into whatever our next is. And so it takes ripping, it takes, pulling, it takes breaking down before you can build it back up. And so I like to tell people, even when I coach them, that, all of the things that we fail at, and I tell myself this because when God allows me to tell others, he's ministering to me. as well. So when we take those stepping stones that are failures or being counted out and being misunderstood and being the black sheep or being whatever you call your failure point, you use that as a stepping stone to get yourself to that next level. So you stand on it, you build it like stack of books until you elevate yourself so that you can jump over that hurdle and get to your success point. So,
You know, what's interesting, some time ago, the Lord gave me revelation concerning the word mistake. And that was, you won't find the word in the word of God. You will not find the word mistake in the word of God. And the scripture that I love so much is, for we know that all things work together for the good.
Mm-hmm.
All things
All
work
things.
together for the good. And so I used to go around and I would tell people it's all good. It's all, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it is, it's all good because it's working out for my good. So it doesn't matter. So I'm loving this. Deidre, you're being a little quiet. Now let me tell you something. When this sister right here gets going, she starts prophesying and everything. Yeah. Because God has been using her in such a mighty way. So she's coming in. I think God is working with her right now. Miss Frida Mathis. We had to do another flyer for Miss Frida because Wanda, when I received the email, it said Willis. And so we put Willis on the flyer. So we do apologize for that, Frida. Frida, tell us your part with the book. How did you come into this collaboration, and what will our viewers learn about you, who you are, in Wake Up Winning Volume 2?
Okay. Thank you for having us on the show. Hi, Wanda. Hi. I met her. Actually, we haven't met face to face at all. We've been, we haven't, not yet. We will, I'm sure of it. But a couple of years ago, I started following her, and I'm not even sure why. I just saw her name and something about her, and I think it was an ad for her show. I can't remember the name of her show. It was like if you want to get exposure and stuff like that, you send the email and you could join the show. So I did that, but I didn't follow up to, be on the show. And then later on, I said, well, I'm just going to follow her and see what, is going on. And when I saw the ad a few months ago about Volume 2, I said, well, how did I miss Volume 1? And I said, well, what I'm going to do is I guess this is my chance, because I was so scared in the past to reach out to her before. I said, well, I'll reach out to her now and ask questions just to find out how to join the collaboration. And I'm really glad that I did, because she's a great person. She's a wonderful person. And just knowing her and being pushed the way she's pushed me has really helped me to understand some of the things that I've gone through in the past. And I haven't gone through as much as you ladies have, but I've had my ups and downs. I suffered with depression for a while, and I had suicidal thoughts and those things. And I really wanted to do it. And just learning who I am and what my purpose is, and knowing that it's not just me that's going through these things, but as I was suffering, my children were suffering, my family was suffering. And then once I began to get into grief coaching and taking those classes and having to do the homework, and I began to look at myself and say, you're still grieving yourself over a lot of things that happened in the past when you were growing up, in your relationships and things like that, even family relationships, like not being close to my sister as I wanted to be, and not being as close to my mom as I wanted to be. Just things like that. I was still grieving a lot of issues that these issues they've molded me into who I am now. But at the time, they were hurting me because I didn't know how to go to move through them. Like she just said, how to move past those hurting things and the pain. Now I know how to do that. Taking those grief coaching classes really helped me. And as a certified grief coach, I can say to other people, we grieve over a lot of different things. And so I wanted to join the book collaboration to talk about, or to just express how I feel about violence in our neighborhoods and communities, and how it hurts not just one person, but it hurts the whole community of people. And a lot of people don't realize that when something happens in your community, it hurts you, it hurts your children. They have questions, things that happen. We couldn't explain it to our students at school. I could not explain some things that happened in this past year to my grandkids because everybody was grieving at the same time. So looking back into our communities and the community that I come from, and knowing that the crime in that community now is so heavy and people losing their lives. I lost a nephew in that same community last year in March, just shy of his birthday. He would have been 23. These are things that hurt. It really hurts. And, I wanted to join the collaboration because there was time when I wanted to hurt myself, not knowing that it would have hurt so many people that are connected to me. And had I followed through, I wouldn't be here now to welcome my grandkids, to talk to my girls about sex and relationships and their broken hearts, and my students at school when they come up to me. And I have a lot of students. I teach kindergarten, but a lot of the 5th grade girls would come up to me and they would share their experiences. And I wouldn't be here to make that happen or be here to share my experiences. I wouldn't be here to tell somebody, look, baby, I went through a bad relationship too, and God knows I want to kill myself. I wouldn't be able to tell them that had I followed through. But my experience is something that has given me strength where I can now talk about it and tell other people and say, you know what, baby, it's not that bad. Let's see if we can put our heads together, come up with a solution, and, let God be the guide through all of this, because life is precious. Life is a gift. God give us this life, not for just us to keep it to ourselves, but to share it with everybody. The things that we go through is not just for us, it's for us to get over and to share and to help somebody else. And that's what I wanted to do and what I wanted to bring to the collaboration.
My.
Amazing.
Will you? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Wanda, go ahead.
I'm sitting here rocking back and forth.
I know.
I feel like running around the living room. This is why we do what we do, because the unity, the mission, the spirit is all connected. It's all interactive, and like you said earlier, Charmaine, there's no mistakes. That's not a word. And I actually wrote about that because everything that we go through, and this is just my total belief system, this is what makes me who I am, is everything is for divine purpose and divine oneness. Everything, even the most horrible things that we go through, because we only can stand after what we've been through. So that's it. I know you probably have more for Miss Frida, because she's dynamic. She's dynamic.
Listen,
everybody is.
Flow with it. What came to me when I heard you say, Frida, when I heard you say you suffered with depression, I think most of us are spiritually grounded on the call, if not all of us. And the Bible calls it a spirit of heaviness. A spirit of heaviness is what it's called. And I remember there were times in my life, because even as you were talking about your family, and not being close to your sister and not being close to your mother, I've gone through the same thing, and couldn't understand why I was not loved as much as my brother. And there were times when I would feel this kind of weight coming on me to the point where I just wanted to cry, just out of the blue, just wanted to cry, you know. And what I would do is I would just start shaking it off. I'm like, nope, you're not going to do that to me. But what I learned in the midst of all of that was it would not be happening if there wasn't purpose in my life. You understand? There's a lot of people that just kind of breeze through life like nothing has happened. They haven't experienced anything. They're just enjoying life, you know. And the fact that you've been under attack, the fact that you've been rejected, the fact that, you know, you've been raped or whatever, there is purpose on your life. And so I started turning that thing around. And what I said was to the enemy, I said to him, the mere fact that you keep coming at me, just it gives me validity or validates who I am. Mm-hmm. And it tells me that I'm a force to be reckoned with. He wouldn't be coming at your sister if you wasn't a bad chick. You hear me? He wouldn't be, none of this stuff would not be happening to any of us if he didn't know the plan for our life. He knows who we are. He knows who we are. And he is afraid. Now think about what Wanda D does. Every last one of you have talked about how she has helped. She has assisted you. And I know she's been through some challenges. To get where she is right now, I know she's been through some challenges. And if she had not succeeded, then she would not be here for any of you. Mm-hmm. 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 All of you, bad chicks. Miss Tanisha, with your blonde, you are a bad chick, sister. Yes, bad chick. Deidre, you know you're a bad chick. This is right here. And don't call me a single mom, raising five children, 3 of them which are boys, and all of them are very mannerable. We're some bad sisters. Wanda, what do you want to say? Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
No, you didn't. You're not cutting me off. We flowing. We are flowing. Just, you know, everything you said about the experiences that we go through is why we stand, why we're even able to stand. So those are experiences are so necessary. And I think that's what people have to realize is that doesn't get you off the hook for being great. That doesn't get you off the hook for being great. You cannot use that pity party to stay down. I don't care. That be my thing. I don't care. And sometimes that come off a little harsh. It might sound a little rough because I'm a little rough. I'm a roughneck. I ain't, you know, that's why I had to walk in who I am. I am the queen, and we all are the queens and kings. And we can't buy anybody else's excuse, because if you buy other people's excuses, then you're going to buy your own excuse. So I'd be like, take that back to sender, carry that bag, that bag of garbage, it has to go somewhere else. Decline, you know, so the doubting Debbies, you cross them off the list. Yeah. You know, the poor mouth paws, cross them off the list. You have to get so enriched by the people you hang out with.
Yeah.
they have to constantly be elevating you, because we all have those days where we don't want to push. But if you allow spirit to guide and direct you, then you will reach out to the person that you need to reach out to, and you will make that call, and they'll help you get over that hump.
Yeah.
But if you don't do that, you're going to stay stuck, and then you're going to justify being still. And in this book, we don't justify being still. You know, and that's the message that I want everybody on this line to pick up today. If you are being still, stop it and start moving. Start moving, even if it's just an inch. You know, even if it's just a little roll over here, a little roll over there. Start moving. You cannot stay stuck under no circumstances. I don't care if it's COVID. I don't care if it's, you know, whatever it is. It don't matter, because we're under attack all the time. We didn't just become under attack.
That's right.
You know, everybody on here, you come from a line of people that's been under attack, but yet we're proven that we're the strongest.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You know, I had to learn, I had to receive revelations from God concerning everything, even when my relationships failed. When the relationship failed, I went to God. Okay, God, what's up? God says he wasn't the one. Okay, moving on. Next.
That's it.
Next. You know, when my mother, you know, rejected me and said that my brother was her favorite, I had to go to God and ask him, why, God? What's going on? And he took me to Genesis when he told Abraham to leave his kinfolk. And I said, kinfolk. He says kinsmen and kinfolk. And God says there's a difference between family and kinsmen. See, Deidre is my family. That's my sister. Now, she didn't come through my mother, but she's still my sister. You understand? And so God had to give me a whole different way. I had to see things from the way that he saw it. Even when Jesus was at the cross, who was it? John that said, behold your mother and your brother. And he had to ask, he said, who is my mother? And who is my brother? Wanda's my sister. And she came through a whole different woman altogether, but that's my sister. So he gave me a whole nother way of looking at things. When things happen, ask him for revelation. And then keep it moving, right, Wanda?
Yes, definitely. That's definitely. And that's something, you know, we fight so hard to get here. And that be my whole message every morning. We fight hard to get here. I mean, to the planet, like to be born. We fight hard to come through the womb. You know, it's not easy getting out of the womb, because it's not easy, but we fight here to get to the planet. And then why don't we fight that hard for our dreams? That's the message that I want this book to relate. We got to fight for our dreams. We have to learn how to dream. So if you're broken, if you're so broken, then these people are going to help you find your pieces. You know, so then you can dream, because I know I am super positive, if that's even a word, but you know, it doesn't matter. I'm always going to see the glass as half full instead of half empty, because that's a choice. And these are the things that, you know, we all make choices. We make choices to show up on time or be late. We make choices to say yes to something or say no. So if you take if you take all of what you have inside of you, and you know that like all of these three sisters, everybody on here is bad. Everybody is doing their thing, but I know we had those days that is difficult, but we got to remember that it still has to be done. We don't get off, and the more you do, the more you have to do.
That's right.
I did a post today, and I said, I'm looking for the busy people. I'm looking for the people that's about business.
Wow.
You know, because the people that want to sit on the sideline and be lazy, I'm not trying to motivate you like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to motivate the motivators.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's who you're watching right now. These three ladies are the motivators. These are the ones that, and they're being very modest right now, but these are the ones that go down in the dirt and help pull people up. These are the ladies that pushes those kids. Do you know how difficult it is to be connected in the school system nowadays?
Mm.
This is the lady that goes to in the school system with all the joy in her heart and serves her community and wants her community to win. What do you say, Miss Frida? That we awesome? What is your tag?
I say I'm so awesome I scare myself.
Now you imagine somebody that's going to serve the children every day with that message. Some kids that don't feel awesome, but then they have Miss Frida come along and say, "Honey,
Go
you so
be
awesome.
awesome.
You should go be awesome. Just go be awesome."
And
Wow.
it's so important. I've been listening, everyone, because I'm absorbing the room. You know, I'm Charmaine all in my business as usual, but that's what I was trying to do. Okay. And with that being said, as you guys know, I'm sure that, you know, transparency is power. And I just want to ask you, ladies, as far as when you were writing your chapter in this book, what were your feelings? Did it provide a release for you, freedom? Like what were your feelings in the process of this, and what is your purpose concerning this?
I had to really, it took some time to look at the questions, think about what my answer was going to be, and not try to put everything about myself in the book, but just sum myself up. It was very hard. It was difficult because it made me cry, thinking back on, you know, why I was depressed, why I felt the way I did, thinking back and trying to understand, you know, how can I write this down for somebody to receive it and understand that if they're going through the same thing that they can get over, and it doesn't have to, you know, take from them. It doesn't have to take, you know, your whole essence to get over, you know, something that happened in the past. It doesn't, you don't have to lose yourself trying to find yourself. You're already here. You just need to know what is going to take you to the next level, what next steps you're going to have to take. So getting prepared to try to write in this collaboration, I had to do a lot of soul searching just for myself to be able to put into words the things that were hurting me. Knowing that I could say, okay, I did that. I went through that. This is where I am now, and this is where I plan to go. And, you know, along the way, God has given me different platforms to use in the ministry. The Unspoken Sounds of Violence Forum, my boys mentoring ministry for boys 7 to 11, just things like that have come out of me saying to myself, okay, no more. I'm not going through that anymore. I'm not living in the past anymore. Whatever happened, it happened. Now it's time to take that fuel and move forward so I can, you know, manifest my fire over here doing ministry, doing my business, working on my writing, just knowing who I am. So when somebody look at me in this book, they can say, you know what, that's me. I went through that. She came out, I can come out, and maybe it would lead to someone contacting me or calling me or just going on my page and reading about me and just knowing that they're not alone anymore. That we now have, or they now have, sisters and brothers that they can relate to and maybe build a family with.
Beautiful. Who's next? Don't run up. Everyone don't run up at the same time.
I'll go next. So for me, it was an eye opener. Basically just let me see where I'm at in my feelings, because most of the time when you're still dealing with a spirit of rejection, it irritates your skin, it irritates your spirit. You can't really focus on what you're doing. So for me, it was an eye opener, let me know that I already been healed and delivered from everything I've been through. Because most of the time when you write, you break down. It's like a memory of things that happened to you. You don't know how to deal with things. When you like, okay, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to say this, but for me, it was like, okay, I'm healed and I'm delivered. I can talk about these things. I can help somebody else rise up. I can help somebody else to the next level in their life. I can help them get to the top where they need to be at. And that's what made me change the way my name for coach. I was like, I'm gonna be a success coach or mentor or whatever. No, I had to change that last year before the end of the year. I'm a purpose coach because I know what it takes to push my purpose for my pain and trauma to make things happen. So for me, it was like, oh man, okay, Tisha, you did that. You ain't cry, you ain't yell, you ain't scream, you ain't had no attitude, you ain't toot your nose up, flare your nose up. Because those are things that we do when we're not healed. When you're not healed and you're not delivered, you tend to, then you like, okay, why you looking like that? You don't even know why you making these faces. Then you're like, yeah, you know why you making a face, because you still got a little taint, a little residue on your heart. What happened to you in your past? So you have to really be healed and delivered and understand that you have to go through your flaws. You have to face your flaws, first of all, in order to be healed and delivered. So it was just like, okay, I did that with no problem. I break down and cry. And it make you feel good. It make you feel exciting. It's like a feeling, how can I say it? Like butterflies in your stomach when you're able to talk about things that happen to you that normally used to break you down. But now you can talk about it and be like, oh, thank God I did it. I'm able to help people. And I don't have to go back and hurt myself, torture myself of what happened to me because I didn't get over it. So you got to want it, and you got to want to get over it. You got to want to jump over hurdles. And you have to really be content with yourself. Like, okay, that happens, but I'm not going to mildew in that. I'm going to just go forward. So a lot of people need to understand that you might don't want to face some things. You might don't want, but you got to get ugly. When I say get ugly, we got to get ugly. We got to get down on our face. We got to cry it out, whatever it takes. You got to scream. So what I do with my mentees is anybody that went through trauma like I have, or maybe even worse, I tend to let them write a letter to themselves. And what we do is we write the letter to ourselves. We just write it. We don't read it out loud. We just a reflection to ourselves. We look at it and we put it in an envelope and we burn it away. So it's like you're burning all the residue, all the hurt. It'll turn to residue into burning like fire paper, because we're gonna let it burn. We're gonna throw it in the air and we're gonna pass it away. So you exhaling, you're able to breathe, you're able to speak about things that you thought you could never speak about. And then basically I help them get comfortable in their prayer life. Make your prayer life a daily routine. A lot of people say, okay, yeah, I pray, but I ain't talking about no 2-5-minute prayer. We're talking about 30 minutes or better. Really get in tune with God with yourself. Because if we put God in everything that we do, there's nothing impossible. Because even in the word impossible, if you take the I am off, it says possible. So anything is impossible. So I said live from Millennials Ministry Radio Talk Show. That's one of my babies as well. I always end my statement with don't stop, don't quit, don't give up, and definitely don't throw in the towel. So you guys remember that and let that stick with you and let it marinate in your mindset and watch how positive you be.
Wow.
I love it.
Wow.
And next,
Miss
All
Taisha.
right, I'll go next.
Asha.
Asha.
T. Asha.
It's okay. But yeah, so in writing my chapter, it was actually a relief for me. It allowed me to kind of take some of the things that I held in for so long and put it on paper. Um, I don't know why I've always been afraid of just writing down what it is that I'm feeling. Tanisha can vouch. She's like, girl, if you don't start taking notes and start writing stuff down. But I used to be a writer. And so in my chapter, I talk about some of the influences in my life to include Lauryn Hill and Maya Angelou, people like that. And, we're talking, about our Black kings and queens and people who.
Ah, no, come back.
I know we just lost
Yeah.
her. we just lost her.
She'll be back.
Hopefully she'll come back in the next minute or so. Miss Wanda, you've got to be truly proud of these women that are on the show, and all of them, all the women and men
Mhm.
that have that are part of this collaboration. You've got to be really, really pleased.
Queen, you ready?
I hope so. For some reason, it keeps reloading.
That's
I don't know
okay.
why. But I just, like I said, I just thank God for the project. Thank God for being a part of it and putting those words on paper. It was a release for me. It was doing something in this process that allowed me to, once I go back and read it, I'm like, I wrote that, like I put that on paper. Like, did I tell them that? Like, why did I tell them that? But like we say, our test is a testimony. Our story is his story, God's story, where he has allowed us to, just like those of the books in the Bible, they wrote their testimonies. They wrote what was going on. They wrote down, what we're going through and what we're going to be going through for the future. So these books that we're putting our words on will be for our lineage, for our people that are coming behind us, our children. I'm also a mother of 8. I have 2 angel babies and a bonus baby. So those, 8 children or 6 that are living will be able to take this book and be able to share it with their children and their children's children, which is, what I like to say is that we start with our end in mind. And so what we're putting on paper right now, especially during this time with COVID, it allows us to voice, our hurt, our pain, our, whatever our trials, our tribulations that we're going through. And then maybe eventually allow other people in the future to say, hey, what we're going through is not that bad. Because we are those that think that we're in this thing alone and that nobody else is going through what we're going through. But just listening to all of you ladies talk, I could resonate with every last one of y'all, whether it was the rape, whether it was rejection, whether it was wondering why I felt like the black sheep, why, these things. And
She always would leave a cliffhanger, don't she? Leave us hanging like, why?
I love it. Listen,
We all in like this, like, yeah. What else?
I know. Look, they're gonna have to get the book. They have to get the book to find out the rest of it. So, Miss Brenda, let's tell the viewers how they can reach out to you, all of your contact information.
Well, and also I want to encourage everybody. If somebody, I know I was supposed to have somebody watching and gonna put some notes in the comments there because I can't do everything. But this coming weekend is our big MLK celebration. And if I could just have a moment to just talk about why this is critical that we all come out.
Sure.
Okay, so Friday, we're going to do something really, really fun. We're having a pajama jam party. Bring your red cup or your champagne flute. I don't care. There's no judgment. Bring whatever you want to. But put your PJs on and make them be fun PJs because it's going to be a lot of giveaways. So from who has the funniest PJs, from, they might be, I'm going to let the cat out the bag. There might be some like little scavenger hunts and they say you got to find something for something. And remember our theme, I am winning. So that's what we're doing on Friday night. We got some DJs coming up. They're going to be slamming, just having a great time. So it kicks off at 8:00. Then on Saturday morning, we're going to be working out because we want to be winning in all areas of our life. So I have my favorite personal trainer coming on through Zoom that's going to teach us about working out with our body weight. So you don't need anything. You don't have any excuses. Join us at 8:00 in the morning. And then that afternoon, we're going to kick off our conference. Now, this is a virtual conference, but it's unlike any other that you've ever gone to. I promise you it is, because what we're doing is we're honoring our Black women as queens and our Black men as kings and our ancestors. You're going to get information on how to be better in your business. You're going to get there's workshops to attend. You know, a few people are hosting workshops, and I want all of the audience to participate. So if there is 100 people there, think about your 30-second elevator pitch, because this is about a collective win. I'm all about everybody's winning. That is just that's just the way I am. Don't try to stop me, because if you try, you won't be successful. So don't even try to go there with me. If you come to this conference, you will change. Something is going to change in your life. You're going to meet people. You never know who's in the room. You never know who is going to want to partner with you to help you build that school that you've been wanting to build. So, and then on Sunday, we're going to have our book release. You're going to talk to all of the authors, find out what their next is. I will be interviewed. There will be just some special things happening there. We have a song that's going to be released on that Sunday. We have entertainment all weekend. This is the MLK celebration, and we are celebrating our Blackness. We are celebrating our winning spirit. We are celebrating the reason why we wake up every day winning. We are celebrating on MLK weekend. You can go to Eventbrite and just look up MLK weekend extravaganza. Our hashtag, and this is where I need y'all to lean in close. This is what I need you to do. I need you to right now hashtag WUW the letter 2. Hashtag that right now. And then if you watch this show, leave a comment that you were on this show and you want to hashtag WUW2. It's very critical.
Awesome. And so, Wanda, you said that they can go to Eventbrite and get information on the entire weekend?
Yes, they can go to Eventbrite, because I can't, there's too many emails and all of that to worry about. But, my personal website is IamEnough365.com. Our author website is, what is it, Tiasha? Wake Up Winning Volume, the letter 2, VOL2. You can see all of the authors on there. Every last author. You still can purchase a book if you so choose to. You can decide on which one you want to purchase it through. This is a collective.
Yes.
And when one of us win, all of us win.
Awesome. So before we go, I want to give each one of the ladies an opportunity, because they all have businesses, and give them an opportunity to give out their contact information in case someone wants to reach out to them. We could start with you, Ms. Frida. Can you hear us?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, you can contact me at my page on Facebook, Frida Mathis. Instagram is the same, Frida Mathis, and on Twitter at Frida Mathis 15. My email is frida33mathis@yahoo.com or fridaqmathis@gmail.com.
Awesome. And next, Tanisha.
Yes, you can reach me on my page is Tanisha Ramsey Lane, and I also have Millennials Ministries Radio Talk Show, but it'll be at Millennials Men, MIN at the end. And then I also have another page, but I'm not even going to use that anymore. I'm just going to stick with Millennials Ministry because that's just my gift, you guys. So I'm not really that hard to find. But if you want to contact me, my email address is millennialsministries@gmail.com.
Awesome. Last but not least.
Look, sorry for tech difficulties, but you can reach me on all social media platforms at I am Tiasha Janae, and that is I am Tiasha TEASHA Janae. EA at the end because people like to swap those. And then my email also is Tiasha at IamTiashaJanae.com.
Awesome.
And Wanda?
All things I Am Enough. I Am Enough 365. That's my website. And you can look Wanda D. Hollis on all social media platforms. That's government name, and that's where I am everywhere. you can find me under Wanda D. Hollis.
Wanda said that's the government name.
That's the government name. Got all the stuff attached to it. And anybody that's watching today that's registers today from watching us, you will get I will give away 3 free books of the new book. Wake up winning no matter what, because losing is not an option. And you can get those books. And yeah, and probably something else. It'll be a surprise.
Oh,
But you got to register. You have to send me a notification that you registered, and you have to hashtag Real Women Atlanta Live, and you have to hashtag what WUW2. Yeah, it's a lot to do, but if you want it, that's what you got to do to get it.
that's right. That's right. Awesome. Well, Wanda, we appreciate you so much. Like I said, you've been a supporter of everything that we have done. And as you and I spoke the other day, there's going to be much that we will collaborate on. Let us know at any time if there's anything that we could do to support you or any of the women that have been on the show, even those that didn't get an opportunity to be on the show, because we all have stories. And no matter what our differences are, at the end of the day, guess what? We're Black women. So whatever we can do to help you all. Deidre.
Yes,
That's
yes.
good.
I just want to just say, this was amazing. Just sitting in, listening to each and every one of your stories. I want to say thank you for not being selfish, because you could have held all of this in and went through all the things that you've gone through and just, it vanished, you put it in your pocket and you keep living life. But you made the decision to not only live your truth, but to also allow people into your private space. And when you've done that, now people can get healed, delivered, and set free because of what you have been through and how you have overcome. So I salute every last one of you on today, and all of the kings and queens that are a part of this project. And Wanda, girl, I love me some you. You're amazing.
I love you too. You are amazing.
Awesome. Listen, we will be here, same place, same time next week. Please don't forget to join us when we will have another amazing show. As always, we love you and thank you for being with us. Raheem, our station manager, we love you. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.